Time now for all things current California politics. Our guest this week, we welcome back Rich Eisen, editor-in-chief of Capital Weekly publication. Rich, a new poll for governor came out on Tuesday. The Independent Voter Project. 3,400 verified registered voters were sampled. That's a fairly high number for a poll. So let's look at that in terms of the person now at the top, Xavier Becerra, who seemingly has gotten all of Eric Swalwell's supporters. All the candidates, Hilton, Bianco, Steyer, Porter, all pretty consistent with the percentages that they've been getting in the other polls. But Becerra pops. How did he get most of Swalwell's?
Well, I mean, I think he has launched some new digital media ads that are doing quite well. And I think also we're getting to a point where people are maybe really starting to look at who has governing experience, who has government experience in the state of California. And, obviously he does. He is a former attorney general and, of course, at the federal level as well. I think he's also starting to pull some of the government folks together. There are going to be new endorsements coming from a lot of folks here in the, institutions here in the next, couple, 3 weeks. I can't say at the moment, but there's going to be some big ones, I think, that are probably going to break his way. So not really surprised. I think, they saw an opportunity. He's putting his foot on the gas pedal.
Okay. Well, there was a debate this week as well, and I know you saw that. Is there anybody who particularly did well or not so well in this debate?
I don't think anybody really killed it, and nobody killed themselves. I think the Tom Steyer thing where he said, taxing me is not going to solve our problems, that's already showing up in anti-Steyer ads. I think he wishes he had not said that. That said, I don't think it's the thing that's going to make or break his campaign. I think some of the others were pretty much what they've always been. Chad Bianco, kind of combative, and Steve Hilton knows how to work a room. So among the Republicans, I think they stayed about the same. All the others did too. I didn't see anybody really break out.
Okay. So all the candidates are promising to make California more affordable, to live, to grocery shop, for all of that. What I find interesting, particularly for the Democratic candidates, they've been the party with the governor since 2011, and they're saying prices and everything's too high. But they've been in power for all this time.
Yeah, well, a lot of what we're seeing right now, though, is really result of federal action and not necessarily just things happening here in California. Now, that is not to let the Dems, the supermajority Dems, or the governor off the hook. There are definitely things here in California that contribute to this, especially the cost of housing and energy. There's no question about it. A lot of other things that have happened here in the short term are, the result of tariffs and a lot of other things that are coming out of the federal administration. So that's the thing they're going to stand on. Believe me, they talk about affordability all of the time here. Whether they can do something about it, that remains to be seen.
Well, I saw a Villaraigosa ad where he's promising to lower grocery prices. And I'm like, if you can do that, how?
We're in the season now where people are promising a lot of things.
Okay.
I see Steve Hilton promising a lot of things that I think are just nonsensical, but all of them do at some point or another.
Right.
They're counting on us not being as informed as we should be, so please be informed.
All right, we'll do that. Rich Eisen, Capital Weekly. Rich, thank you.